Hello everyone, I'm Wendell Jones and welcome to this edition of our program, The Platform. We discuss the national issues on our program, and today we are going to be speaking with a number of young people, and we're going to talk a little bit about literature, poetry in particular. And there's an organization called the Bahamas Poetry Competition organization, and they have in that organization a number of young people who are the budding poets of the nation. Some of them in the Bahamas Poetry Competition have already produced a number of outstanding works, and so today on our program we're going to talk a little bit about it. And we have as our guests here Jermaine Roll, who is the president of the Bahamas Poetry Competition. Sure. And we have John Byron Bain, yes, who is also here in his jacket that has the crest on it, Bahamas Poetry Competition. And then Ebony Johnson, who is, I believe you're a young poet as well?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Good to have you all here today. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having us.
It's
a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Mr. Bain, we're going to talk a whole lot about it. But you're a police officer, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
And you came on the platform with me some years ago.
Yes, sir.
How many years ago?
It was just over a year. Not quite 2 years yet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
about
when
2
I was
years. Okay.
Promoting my first book, Cries of Poetic Soul.
That's right. Well, tell us about Bahamas Poetry Competition.
Well, Bahamas Poetry Competition is an online competition with a multi-divisional online competition. It's completely online. It has 3 divisions. You have the primary school division, the high school division, and the young adult division. The way that the competition is set up, we invite persons from each division to compete, to compose poems on topics of national importance. For instance, this year, the primary school division, they had the topic of bullying on which to write on. The high school division, they had the pros and cons of social media. And the young adult division, they had domestic violence.
Okay.
Now, once all the poems are submitted before the deadline, they're judged by personnel from Ministry of Education. We get professionals in the language arts department that judge the poem based on writing merit. Now, once the top 10 from the writing section is decided upon, they now have to perform their poems. So there's a writing portion and then there's a performance portion.
Okay.
Now, once we get the video submissions for the writing portion, those videos are then uploaded to YouTube for viewing by the judges as well as the members of the public. Now, based on the writing performance as well as the video performance, we have the actual grand champion arising from the video portion. Now, there's also a People's Choice Award, which is based on the amount of views the top video gets in that particular division, the amount of views, comments, and likes that the video gets, and we have the People's Choice winner. I should say, with the writing portion, although there's a top 10, we identified the top 3 writers in that division, and they are awarded as well. Okay. We have one of the top, actually 2 of the top writers here. So, we have the writing portion, and we have the grand champion. Okay. John Byron being here, he rose to the grand champion level in the young adult competition.
John Byron Bain.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been writing poetry?
I've been writing for like 16 years.
16 years?
16 years.
I hope you brought some of your work here today.
I have it in my head.
You have it in your head. Okay, very good. We're going to hear some. So what got you into it?
Poetry. When I was younger, I just loved to write. So I'd be on Facebook, writing pieces, sharing it with my friends. And some people like, hey, it's good, or this is this, that is that. So I always wanted to find a spoken or open mic show to finally go out there and venture into the poetry world. Mm-hmm. And I finally found a place. When I found a place, I couldn't stop going. Show was every week. I was there every week, performing, writing new pieces, just honing my craft. And to more years later, it led me to perform certain places, you know what I mean? And then here I am.
Have you published any?
Not as yet. I do intend to, though. I really do intend to. Last year I tried, but it was a bad time and I was forcing it. I don't really believe in forcing things. So I just took a step back, let things come to me, let things develop, and slowly, surely I do intend to publish eventually.
Very good. Ebony. Ebony is a wonderful name. It's,
Thank you.
Ebony is the black ebony. Where you got that name?
My parents.
Your parents?
Yes, my parents.
You ever ask them why they chose to name you Ebony?
Not really. I just was satisfied with the name because I love it. I
You
love
the
my name.
Oh yes.
Wouldn't change my name.
Beautiful name.
Thank
So
you.
how you got involved in poetry?
I was involved with poetry all of my life. I always liked putting pen to paper. I loved expressing myself through poetry, and just developing that craft has brought me here.
Okay. Where do you go to school?
St. Anne's School,
St. Anne's. And you've been writing poetry for how long?
all my life.
All your life?
All my life.
Now you started when you were in primary school then?
Primary school. My mother even has the photos of some of my misplaced D's and B's while I'm writing.
Okay, very good. Emily Johnson, what you have for us today? Let me hear something from you.
I can read my poem that I entered into the competition.
Okay, how did you place in the competition?
I didn't win, unfortunately. I did place, however, the Top Writers Award, and I was a finalist in my division,
And what division was that?
high school division.
The high school division. And what is this poem about?
The pros and cons of social media.
Okay.
I named it Sweet, Sweet Social Media. Our sweet, sweet social media, oozing with your rich, sweet plague of lies, toxic to dreams, but a peddler of hopes, connecting people, yet strangling relationships, consuming minds completely into your sticky grass, like gooey toffee or gum stuck in our teeth, sweetly and oh so discreetly, forming a hollow space like a cavity in society. Today, it is easier to reach anyone online, but in real life, connections are oh so hard to find. Antisocialness spreading like wildfire through our generation, making people more concerned about counting likes and their Wi-Fi connections. Our sweet, sweet social media. Wake up in the morning, snap it to WhatsApp. Get food to eat, tweet it to Facebook. Oh wow, that's so cool. Give me a moment to post. Oh, what a tragedy. Give me a second to post. No time to think about privacy. No time to think about boundaries. Real-time updates at the touch of a screen, making oversharing a serious thing that is commonly seen. We have traded quick live streaming for molasses like empathy, stripped of compassion, of modesty, and of our decency. Such common qualities are now among the most exquisite luxuries from the factory of our sweet, sweet social media. Like sugary hard candy protected by its bright foil wrapping, social media sweetly protects our anonymous criticizing, hating on those who openly share, trying to get our approving stares, but was instead terrorized and pushed into deep despair. Bullying can now be done safely from behind a protective screen, revealing that one is truly capable of being cruel and mean, while yet sadly still remaining unseen. So why not get rid of such a disastrous tool? Well, simply because there are certain exceptions to every rule. For you see, our sweet social media is not all so bad. There is a ray of light within this worldly fad. There are entertaining videos that can make the saddest person laugh, time-consuming activities to help the busiest escape their past. It gives many a chance to stop, breathe, and enjoy the broadcasted life, to virtually fly to another country, sign a petition, and help end strife. Bringing someone from across the world into the palm of our hands. It connects cultures, awareness, and homes across every land. We can express our talents in many forms and inspire creativity, encouraging hurt people by responding to their posts sympathetically. So you see, our sweet social media can be a delicious swirl of good and bad, yet cannot be blamed for uncovering what is already under our facade. Also, we must be wise and understand that it is all about balancing, since too much of any good thing is good for nothing.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Well done. And you didn't place first
She placed first in the writing portion.
in the writing portion
Yeah, in the writing portion, she placed first
for this particular
for
poem.
that particular poem.
But in terms of overall,
Overall, no, she was a finalist.
okay,
Yeah, she was a
okay.
finalist.
Who won that particular category?
That category was won by Kayla Roll of Grand Bahama.
Okay. She must have been very good
She's a great poet.
because she articulated this extremely well.
Yeah,
And her diction is
very clear.
excellent.
To God be all the glory.
To God be the glory, yes.
She's an amazing talent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very good. So you won helped?
I was helped with the editing process, making sure my grammar was in all the right places, and I got the ideas basically by going around asking people, a lot of people who really supported me through the whole thing, and I'm truly grateful for that. And basically I gathered different point of views of social media and I just put them all together and the poem was born.
What is your overall ambition? What do you want to do?
I personally want to be a marine biologist.
Okay. So you're good in the sciences?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Love science.
Very good. Mr. Bain,
Yes, sir.
let me see if you can top Ebony. You wrote in which division?
The young adults.
The young adults, and your category was
Domestic violence.
domestic violence.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're doing a piece now on domestic violence.
That's correct.
Okay.
It's entitled Silver Lining.
Okay.
Okay. These hands are infected with domestic violence. They sound like broken silence, but who broke the silence of silent screams saying, "Save my soul"? The solemn savoring screams of black and blue, broken eyelids, tissue back to blue, black and blue, the only two colors of love. The only true colors of love, the kind of deep-rooted psychological issues I can come home to, but you are so beautiful. To the tone of uppercuts, the left, right's pursuit, to the kiss of swift hits, the ones and twos, the ahs and oohs when my anger goads me on. Turning me on so much you are free to leave right after I kill you. Maybe I am confused. Maybe I'm misconstrued. Maybe I mistook. If you love it, let it kill you, for I do, for better or worse. She promised to love me. The way I promised to love her, my love. These hands are compatible to hold you hostage. They sound like the symptoms of Stockholm, the syndromes of Stockholm responding under master and slave, like the way your lights get lost in the lighthouse of your eyes, feeling like God when death requires no lifelines, with love that must cover a multitude of sins. Sincerely, I love you. And although this isn't the kind of love you're accustomed to, here lies the silver lining. There you go.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Awesome.
You really have your inflections right.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir.
You must have had some training to get those inflections as you got them.
Definitely, because going back to when I first found open mic show, there's so much you learn in terms of going on the mic. It isn't just about speaking; it's delivery, it's stage presence,
Right.
it's demanding your attention from the crowd when they're too busy talking about their own personal things. So all these things came into being, you know what I mean? When I first started off, I was shy, timid, you know what I mean? I didn't really fully understand what it is to utilize your voice. But through constantly going out to every show and facing a different crowd every week, you learn to believe in yourself. And when you have one or two person listen to you or come to you and say, "Hey, that was a great poem," you find confidence. And then as long as one person listens, that's all you need. So you learn to speak with authority, speak with confidence, speak with purpose, you know what I mean? Write efficiently, write effectively, You know what I mean? And make sure that your message is clear. Make sure at least one person understands where you're coming from. And because even when I wrote the poem Silver Lining, I wanted to approach it from a male's aspect. Like, although it's something that isn't really accepted from society, is shunned upon, in reality, even though I may disagree with it or not believe in it, but that's just the way some people show their love towards their girlfriend or their wife, by simply beating up on her. You know what I mean? It's not right by any means of the imagination, by any means of whatsoever, but that's just the way they show their love towards that person. Mm-hmm. And you have to, as an individual from society, accept it to a degree. You don't have to agree with it, but accept it, because whether you want to accept it or not, it's still going on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So,
pronunciation is one thing, and enunciation is another.
Thing.
And so the way you both enunciated what you wrote, people understood, and you brought people at a particular place to appreciate your poetry. And I'm surprised that you are not trained to do this.
It's just a passion that I put out.
You're natural. Are you?
You could say that. I mean,
natural. Comes with passion.
She has natural talent.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Now, what caused you to put on the competition, Mr. Rowe?
Well, poetry has always been a passion for me, and growing up, I always wanted to have the avenue to compete. And the opportunities were slim to none. I entered one poetry competition, I won that. But after that, there was nothing else. And I searched online, and there were a lot of bogus competitions, just basically trying to get money from unsuspecting writers. And it was my dream since then to create a platform where writers could express themselves and be appreciated, not just put out the work, but actually be appreciated. That's why with this competition, I saw it fit to have cash prizes, to have trophies, to have a lavish award ceremony. And I wanted the writers to be encouraged. So even if they didn't place first, they see a goal that they can reach. John Byron Bain, for instance, he's the grand champion. This jacket that he's wearing now, this is called the Golden Standard. This is something that I created in the competition for persons to aspire. Similar to the Masters jacket, you have that status symbol.
Masters in golf.
Yes, Masters in golf. So you have that as a status symbol. So you have something to aspire to for next year, because there is going to be a next year, God's willing.
So someone will win the gold jacket
Yes.
next year.
Golden jacket.
The golden jacket. And this goes for men and women?
Men and women. Actually, right now, as it stands, we have primary division, high school, and young adult, which is 18 to 30. But next year, I'm instituting next division, which would be 31 plus, calling that the veteran category. And I have some ideas on topics of national importance on which they can write on. For the veteran category, I'm thinking about addiction, high school conflict resolution. Primary school, I want them to focus on something positive. So I'm thinking about national pride, what they love about their country, what is so important about living here in the Bahamas. So I want them to think about that. And I'm thinking about maybe gun violence for the young adult division.
Okay. In the domestic violence category, how many people competed?
In the young adult, there was about 30 persons competed in that category.
It's a good crowd.
Yeah, but by far, the primary school was the most active division. I think we got about 100 plus persons in the primary school division.
And what was the topic there?
The topic was bullying. And
Bullying?
Yes, sir. And
Okay.
We got some excellent entries. They're all posted on YouTube. If you search for Bahamas Poetry Competition, you'll see the videos for them. Some of them, they could be public service announcements, where some of them are just awesome creations. But you can search online, find those. If any person is interested in the competition, check the Facebook page. You could like that, and any update that comes from the competition, you'll be able to get that. But it's Everything's completely online. The website, Bahamas Poetry Competition, is available for persons to tap into.
Very good. Let's take a break here. We are on the platform and we are speaking about Bahamas Poetry Competition and listening to some of the wonderful poetry today. We take this break. We'll come right back.